We're gay. Hello and welcome back, Ravers. It is season 5, episode 8 of Gay Rave, and I will be damned. I am back in fucking Arizona again. Okay. And you know what? You know that part of when the plane is landing where they put on the brakes and it sounds like the entire plane is coming apart piece by piece? It's not for me. It's not something that I need. I've realized, and I think we're fine. We can put our best minds to it, or some engineers or something. We can actually remove that part of the process. We can make sure that there's like less sound or a better way of doing it. Okay, so go ahead, get a go on that whenever you're ready. All right. Is anyone famous from Phoenix? I'm wondering. Like Phoenix, the Sinnet area. I bet it's bad people. I'm kind of scared. It's kind of MAGA vibes here. No, there's some good people. Okay, Stevie Nicks, hello, Jordan Sparks, Frankie Muniz, Emma Stone. Those are some good people who are from the greater Phoenix area, okay? And you know what I have to say? Before basketball class last week, I was listening to Landslide, crying, obviously. And I think that is actually, it was the message of growing older and fear of moving forward that actually empowered me to do my first layup. I swear to God, people were clapping. It was hilarious. Like, we're doing more like scrimmaging and like doing actual like gameplay, which I think to me is like, it's almost like I'm playing 2K. I'm almost like, okay, like you should be here and he's telling us to go there. It's very like, I don't know. It doesn't feel like I'm flowing yet. Like in the game, I'm just like thinking about it too much, obviously. I'm like, well, this person should be here and I should be here and this is where I go and this is what I do. So we're getting there, people. Okay. But made a couple shots this week, feeling good. I did one thing though. I was too close to the basket and I tried to put the ball up and I essentially sent the ball straight in a line above me, about 10 feet, and then it came crashing down on top of me. And our coach Steve stops the whole class and is like, everybody stop. Here's what you don't do. And you know what? If I was a worse person or a younger person or somebody who didn't have the size of ego that I do have, that would have hurt me. But instead I was like, damn, bro, that's crazy. He was like, if you're too close to the basket and you try to hit the shot, this is what's going to happen. And I was like, really? And he was like, what she did, like not holding back at all. Okay, so thank you, Coach Steve. Today is actually one of our favorite Ravers' birthdays. It's Ginge's birthday. So happy birthday, Ginge. It is May 4th, Quattro de Mato, as we used to call it. And I hope that you're having the most wonderful day. I know that it will be the day following. It will be Cinco de Mayo by the time everyone hears this. But everyone be nice to Ginge in reverse, okay? So let's talk about last week. I went to go see Buena Vista Social Club, okay? It won Tonys and shit, okay? So I went to go see it, and it was really, really good. So you remember my qualms about seeing Hell's Kitchen, and I felt like it was all like black and brown people as the performers, and the whole audience was white, and it just felt like a bunch of white people paying to watch black people perform, and like giving white people an excuse to like use AAVE, and I don't really feel good about that. But watching Buena Vista, it didn't feel the same way. It didn't feel like it was just a bunch of white people paying $80 a head to watch black and brown people dance. There were like Cuban folks there. There was a diverse crowd, and the music, it was like telling the story behind the music. A lot of the music is from like the real Buena Vista Social Club. Like they had this insert in the playbill that talked all about like the real creators and the names that they used in the show, like the real stories of these people. So it was just like very beautiful, and the music's fantastic, and the original cast and the new cast are on Spotify. Hello, I'm locking in. Okay, I have several more shows that I'm going to see. I buy all these fucking shows. Every time I go to a show, I buy my ticket for the next one when I'm there. So I do that. I get all excited, and then boom, spring sale, everything 50% off. What the hell? You knew what I was going to do. You couldn't have sent me the code a day earlier. It's fucked up. Okay. Also, saw Devil Wears Prada 2. Somehow got a showing before the premiere. Saw it on Thursday. It like premiered on Friday with Liz, obviously. And I would give it a solid Gabs 5. Okay, I'm talking a 5 out of 10, not a 5 out of 5. I am so sorry. And the only reason I said that is because I don't want a movie that is purely based on nostalgia that also reminds me that AI is going to kill us all. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like all of it was like callbacks and references and Easter eggs and stuff. And I just don't think we need an entire new movie for that. At the end, like, they almost had me shedding a tear, bitch, when they talk about like how it's been 20 years. Then I started thinking like, oh my fucking God, I was literally 12 years old. And then I started thinking about like, oh my God, 20 years from now, they're going to make the next movie. And it's going to be like Anne and fucking Emily Blunt figuring out who the next like editor-in-chief is going to be. And they're going to be like, oh, none of these Gen Zs are any good and they don't know how to work. And then they find this like diamond in the rough. I don't know. Okay. I just think that's going to happen. And then I'm going to be in my 50s and that stresses me out. All right. So we're not talking about that anymore. But Oscars go to Stanley Tucci, obviously, and Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga did not just come out with a Doechii song. Lady Gaga also had a new original song in the film and acting lines. She was shading Miranda Priestley. She was saying Meryl Streep who? Stephanie Germanotta who? She was playing herself in a film mad at a fake character. She was layers on layers. And I will say she is getting the Oscar for me for best cameo in a cast. They should have that if they don't have that. Stanley Tucci, I still can't believe that he's not gay in real life. I don't know. I think this is not like I have a good gaydar in general. It's like not something I'm known for, but I just feel like this one, it just like missed one part at the end, you know? So Meryl Streep was quoted saying that he has like an elegance about his heterosexuality. And I think that really sums up like what it means to not be like, have like toxic masculinity maybe. Here's what she said. Meryl Streep said, Stanley has an elegance to his heterosexuality, his undeniable heterosexuality, which is formidable. Not that heterosexuality is better than any other kind of sexuality. It's just that elegance, real, unforced, natural, unstyled elegance. It's sometimes harder for straight men. And I have to agree with her. I feel like there's a level of like refinement that men feel is too feminine, and therefore they miss out on all of the luxuries of looking and smelling and like being very put together. Okay. And Stanley is not missing a moment. His wife is actually Emily Blunt's sister. So they are like in-laws. Hello. That was so cool. I had no idea. So also this weekend, went to softball, obviously. And then I was feeling the going out vibe, you know, like spring is here and we have to get ready. May is technically Pride Month Eve. So we all need to use this month to prepare ourselves. So went to softball, had a couple of claws, and then I was feeling the energy inside of me. Okay. I ended up getting pretty drunk at the bar during the Kentucky Derby, by the way. Went to this bar in Queens. So cheap, but a lot of men were there. There were some women, very Kentucky Derby forward, okay? But I got pretty drunk, and then I saw someone there, a friend of the team, was wearing this amazing jean shirt that had the Outback Steakhouse logo on it. And I asked her where she got it, and she said she thrifted it. So then I looked for it online, I couldn't find it. So then I offered her $100 for it, and she said yes. So I did buy the shirt off her back for $100, which afterwards I asked if she would have taken less, and she said probably, and I don't need to know that, okay? Because I am in a hotel in Arizona today, 2 days later, and I am stealing their toilet paper, okay? I have my camera actually propped up on toilet paper right now, okay? And that is just how it's going to be. Oh no, I zoomed. I think I did something. Okay, I'm unzooming. Okay, we're good. Okay. So went out and then had plans to go to this pop-up strip club at the Bush later that evening. Was going to go home and shower, but ended up staying out all fucking day, going to the pop-up strip club in the softball clothes, sweaty as shit. Okay. In my softball jersey, which we got new jerseys a couple years ago, and I chose the name Hottie Sauce on the back of my jersey. And you might be asking, you know, am I regretting making the name on the back of my jersey in honor of Megan Thee Stallion's Popeye collaboration dipping sauce? And the answer is no, especially not in times like this. but it was getting me some attention that I didn't want. So I decided to, put the jersey in the backpack and then wear my Outback shirt because I wanted people to know this was a change of outfit. This is a change of the vibe. And at this pop-up strip club, I swear to God, these are the hottest people I've ever seen in my life. And it was also a farewell because the events manager at the Bush is no longer going to be working there, Trey, my crush. And so it was like a farewell to Trey. Oh my God, these strippers were so inspiring to me. I'm like, you know what? The music was so good. The DJ was amazing. The dancers looked great. And they were coming on one right after the other. They kept, one person would finish performing. And then they would like pick up all the ones. And then somebody else would be like immediately following. It was like no breaks. Absolutely spectacular cadence. There was no waiting. There was no wishing. All right. And you know what? I took a strip class once. I took a stripper pole class once, and this was in Hartford. And I'm pretty sure this was in college because I went with my friend Deanna. I definitely was. It was like over 10 years ago. It was probably like 2015. We got this Groupon class to a pole dancing class in Hartford. And she gave us all like dancer names to get into it. Like we're like sitting on the couch at this point, like on this like woman's couch in her pole dancing studio, and she goes around and she starts like give us all our like dancer names. And so she's like goes to this one woman and she's like Venus, and then she goes to another one and she's like Sparkle. She goes to my friend, she's like Champagne, and this woman looked me dead in the eyes and she goes Jello. And that kicked off years of body dysmorphia and pain. Moving on. The Met Gala is tonight. That's pretty exciting. I've seen some looks so far, and I will reserve commentary, but the theme is costume art, and the dress code is fashion is art. So we'll see what people end up doing like that. You know that every bitch is just going to be wearing like a Monet or something. What I don't like is that people aren't doing enough with like colors. Everyone's just wearing like, where you wear black or you wear like nude or silver or gold. I'm like, can we just like spice it up a little bit? I feel like there's got to be more to life than that. Okay. So the chairs this year are Beyonce, Nicole Kidman, Venus Williams, and Anna Wintour, because the sponsors are Jeff Bezos and his new wife, Lauren Sanchez, and people are like boycotting and like throwing eggs. They're like, absolutely not. We hate this. And Anna Wintour is apparently up in arms because it's never been about the money. It's been about culture. Anna, please read the room right now. Are you kidding me? Get a grip. So fine, I'm not even going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. You don't want the smoke. Okay, I'm tired. You don't want it. So there's the chairs, and apparently there's also like co-chairs and a host committee. Okay, so Anthony Vaccarello and Zoe Kravitz are co-chairing, and the host committee is made up of, wait for this, Sabrina Carpenter, Doja Cat, Gwendolyn Christie, Alex Consani, Misty Copeland, Elizabeth Debicki, Lena Dunham, Paloma El Cesar, Lisa, Chloe Malley, Sam Smith, Tiana Taylor, Lauren Wasser, Anna Wayant, Asia Wilson, and I'm going to not say this right, Isolt. Don't know how to say it. I know some of these names. That's huge. I'm so excited. Athletes, performers, artists, amazing. I could not be happier to see it. Okay. And now we get to play my favorite game, which is it fashion or are you just skinny? The answer is you're just skinny. Anything is fashion. Okay. Moving on. Speaking of skinny people in fashion, Kendall Jenner and Jacob Elordi have apparently been dating for a long time. They're like, they've been secretly talking for months. I was like, who talking? In what way? And you know what? I think that if Kendall Jenner pulls off Jacob Elordi, this like 6'5" Australian, I think Wuthering Heights did something for me with Jacob Elordi. I think it knocked something in my brain back into place because I'm like, damn, that man is one big bitch. First of all, he is huge, so tall. Maybe it's just because Margot Robbie is so little. Do I just want to be made to feel little? We will get into that later. Okay, we don't have to go through that right now. But I think Kendall Jenner actually might have a more goated dating history than Zoe Kravitz, as mentioned last week. So if she pulls off Jacob Elordi, okay, this will be her most current man. Her last, Bad Bunny, don't piss me off. Her basketball playing time, Devin Booker, Ben Simmons, fine, whatever. Harry Styles, Blake Griffin, apparently. goated. All right. She's got something for everyone. And that is what I respect about her. But she is somebody who especially is it fashion or is she just skinny? Answer, skinny. All right, thank you. Also, speaking of all of our basketball players, I just wrapped up watching the Knicks game. The Knicks are in the playoffs, the NBA playoffs. They just won. When I last was watching, it was like 120 something to 80 something. Not amazing. So they just won game 1 of the semifinals against the 76ers tonight. Whoa, that's exciting. Now on to something I actually care about, the WNBA. Natasha Cloud, this morning, she might have been unsigned, but not this afternoon. Natasha Cloud, who we will miss so much from the New York Liberty, is now signed to the Chicago Sky. $550K, insanely good. I think it was only a 1-year contract, so that way she can like get traded or re-sign at a max or a super max or something in the future, if that's even on the table. But not only is it a good deal, she's finally signed, but the branding opportunity, you guys. Are you kidding me? Natasha Cloud on the Chicago Sky, Cloud in the sky. There's a lot there. Think about the opportunities. And if you are the brand on clouds, maybe you do something with that. I don't know why they haven't yet. Oh, wait, yes, I do. Tosh Cloud, a lot of the rumor about why Tosh has been unsigned is because she's very open publicly about her politics. Not only is she like a black gay woman, she is also like free Palestine and there's a genocide in Gaza and defund the military and defund Israel, essentially, which we support. Are you kidding me? But a lot of the rumors swirling were that people didn't want to pick her up because she is overly politicized. But in another way, she's also like in her mid or to late 30s. So if you're signing these like gigantic contracts and there are caps to how many people you can sign at Supermax contracts, who do you choose? And like, do you invest in like the future generations, like the people who are just getting drafted, the superstars? How do you do it? But she brings a lot to the culture and I'm so excited for her. Absolutely deserves to keep going the W and to see what she can do. She is a spark plug. She is amazing. And she just lights up the fucking arena every time. She's so quick with a breakaway. She's so fun to watch also play basketball. She's amazing defensively. I can't wait to see what she does, especially team of baddies, the Chicago Sky. I will be going to see them with Raver Line and Raver Marcus in June. I'm so excited. Okay. In other WNBA news, Sabrina Ionescu, Liberty fame. Okay. She, in our preseason game yesterday, apparently rolled her ankle, her left ankle. I'll have you know. And it's like, I could feel her pain in a way because I had that same injury when I rolled my ankle in Italy last year, as you'll recall. And especially because we have twin injuries, I feel her pain. You know, she's out for minimum 2 weeks. Meanwhile, I'm doing layups in basketball class. Trading places much? Is this a Freaky Friday situation? It's getting better, girl. It will get better for you. Trust me. Like, I sprained my ankle at 32 in Italy and didn't exercise for like 6 months. And now I can work out for 90 minutes once a week. It gets better, girl. Don't worry. All right. So moving on, we need to talk about the movies. So every time I go to the movies, I have 100 more commentaries to make about the movies that are coming out. So there's a trailer for a Toy Story 5. Do we need it? Probably not. Probably not. But it is taking on the iPad discourse, you guys. Like, the toys are mad at the iPad because the iPad is making them irrelevant. And like, the iPad is like clocking their tea. The iPad is like, I literally have educational games. I can do anything. I can do everything that you can do. I am super mobile. And the toys are just like, I can move my arm up and down. The iPad was making a point. I hate to say it. And my whole thing is like, yeah, I love this guilt. I'm like, let's guilt the kids into hating technology through film. This hot new medium. Let's make our kids feel like shit for using the iPads that we give them because we don't want to play with them. And we are also addicted to technology. Oh my God. Yes. Let's use this old series to make the kids feel bad, you guys. Yes. Moving on. Michael Jackson movie came out. Apparently had one of the highest grossing weekends for a biopic, which is huge, I guess. Apparently the film goes through his young life and stops before all of the drama happens, you know. Probably a good call when you're doing a Michael Jackson biopic. Not referencing anything that happened following is kind of crazy though. Because once again, right, is he canceled or not? We're doing this biopic for all of the parts of his life except for the way it sort of ended and the stains left on his reputation. Kind of a big oversight, but here nor there, I suppose. I do remember where I was when Michael Jackson died. I was actually on my way to a Taking Back Sunday concert. I remember because I think it was Mia's friend John was coming to pick us up at our house, and he came to the door to tell us. I'm pretty sure it was the Michael Jackson show. No, I'm pretty sure it was Michael Jackson. It was either that or Whitney Houston. And I remember my mom instantly, tears. The CDs were playing, the records were popping, she's in tears. I'm like, now we got to go to the show. And think about that. If you thought these were people were emo before the death, think about the energy in that Taking Back Sunday concert after the death of Michael Jackson. I'm sure they were incredibly influenced by his presence. All right. The last movie I want to talk about is this Anthony Bourdain biopic that's coming out in August. What did I say about biopics? I said we need to leave them in the past. Okay. But apparently this is also not about like his life and death. They're doing this sort of like Michael Jackson situation where they're talking about like one pivotal summer that he had in a Provincetown kitchen. Okay. That's exciting. So it's not about like the entirety of his life, blah, blah, blah. It's just about this formative time when he was learning in kitchens. That's great. And the guy who plays Anthony Bourdain is going to be Dominic Sessa. And I was looking, I was like, who is this man? I've never seen this man in my life. Apparently he's only done like 2 movies. He's like 23 years old. Like, okay, A24, I guess I'm fine with that. But remind you, biopics are out. But trusting this guy to do Anthony Bourdain? Fine. I think Anthony Bourdain is very much beloved. And we can't lose the ancient text. Like, I do want him to be known, but I don't think anyone's sort of like forgotten, you know? Maybe I'm just being dense. I don't totally know. So shout out to Dominic Sessa for getting that gig. I feel like it's a pretty big deal to be like leading in a biopic, having like almost no film history. He was in like The Holdovers. I think that was his big movie. 23 years old. Good for you. I don't even think a Nepo. I didn't really look though. Speaking of Nepos, and actually not. I looked this up. So Lena Dunham is on a Fame Sick media tour. She just released a book called Fame Sick. It's about sort of like all of her like lived experiences from when she sort of came into the spotlight with girls and her post girls life, her relationships, things like that. Okay. And I wasn't sure. I was like, is Lena a Nepo? And I learned that she kind of is. She has 2 artist parents who apparently funded her early projects, making it easy for her to like create and then eventually sell her series to HBO. So here nor there, I think she's not as Nepo as other people. Still Nepo light, Nepo sensitivities. Okay. So Lena Dunham created Girls with HBO when she was like 25 years old. She pitched it at 23 years old and she started filming at age like 25, 26 with Judd Apatow, which is actually fucking crazy. Once again, right person, right time. I read a lot of autobiographies because I think this is actually my biggest fascination. Like, in what world is this 23-year-old selling this show about this like narcissistic New York girl to HBO and having it take off? Like, in what world would that ever happen in 2026 with TikTok existing? I just don't think that doesn't happen at any other time. Okay. And Lena Dunham, I find, is like a very polarizing character. You know, I feel like she is often hated or hateable for being like self-aggrandizing or pretentious about her experiences. But like, isn't that what got her here? The character of Hannah Horvath is really selfish and egotistical and narcissistic in a lot of ways. But that was what made her, I think, like a funny and interesting and very flawed main character. And I think like she made Hannah this like caricature of the things that she really didn't like about herself, like really amplifying those things in the character. So ultimately, I think we sort of like, if you like the show, we sort of have to take that with it. Okay. So I am happy that she's sort of winning the internet right now. Like, I know that she's flawed, but she's clearly a good writer. And now she's sharing her adult perspective, and I like it. I'm glad that people are like appreciating her perspective now and able to hear her without all of that bullshit from before, I guess. But the only thing I can think of about Lena Dunham, and I am so sorry, and I know that this shouldn't be the only thing I'm thinking of, but remember when Taylor Swift was doing that tour? She was on tour and she was like bringing out like the US women's soccer team and like bringing out all these like incredible guests every single night. And one night she brought out like Gigi Hadid and like I think the Kravitz was in there, like a bunch of her like really hot, like really tall model friends, like Selena Gomez, I think. And then Lena Dunham was there like in an all black, like a black t-shirt, black pants and flats. Oh my God, that picture is one of those like, it looks like it's not real. It's like the Joe Biden and Jill Biden and Jimmy Carter photo. Like there is no way that this is proportionally accurate. Like something is wrong here. But that's the only thing that I can think about. And I'm like, I can't believe Lena Dunham is like a mainstream name and a mainstream celebrity. That's the only thing I think about. Like her in this position to be around all of these like hot model-esque people and how fucking hard it must have been. So go off, Lena. That's all I have to say. Speaking of Nepos, Northwest, daughter of Kim Kardashian and Kanye West, just released an EP, 6-song EP called North Forever. Okay. And it's very emo. She is 12. 12, I will have you know. And I don't hate it. I'm going to say it was very assaulting to my senses when I first heard it, like all like hyper pop music is. But I ended up kind of liking it. It's very teen angsty. I mean, 12, not even a teen yet. Very scary. We're so fucked. But Rolling Stone gave it 4 stars. Are they kissing the asses of Kim and Kanye? Yes. Answer yes. Answer yes. So in her album, I actually thought this was funny. I was on Apple Music, like looking at this, and I was watching what they wrote about it because they like write these little blurbs. And they said, on the song Whoa, she offers up a truth that's unexpectedly poignant. I was born a star, she raps. I never had a choice. Some adult in journalism works for Apple Music, or some like music writer works there and had to write this about a 12-year-old. That is actually nuts. We are so fucked. I'm going to be so honest, but I don't hate it. I have to just think about it for what it is. But reminder, 12-year-old Northwest. She also has had music before. Like she's been featured on like an FKA Twigs song, and she had another song called Piercings on My Hand. And she has piercings on her hand. So you know what? Artistic freedom, whatever. Do I think a 12-year-old should probably have this much access to the world? I don't know. I'm not a parent. Hard to say. Okay? But maybe when she watches Toy Story 5 and she learns about the detriments of the iPad, she'll change her ways. Okay? Moving on. One last thing before I get into rave reviews, because this is actually really pissing me off. What is this new transfusions mix flavor of alcohol? Like I saw Cutwater. I was in a liquor store and I saw like it's purple. And I saw multiple things with the transfusions flavor. I was like, transfusions. What's the situation? So apparently it's like a golf drink and it's just adult grape juice. And I'm kind of locked in on that. I had no idea that these golfers were holding back on like a fun drink. Like Tennis gave us the honeydews. Why don't you just tell us what's good and we can all drink it? Don't be a dick, okay? And I'm still waiting for someone to do the fucking BBL challenge with me. Buzzball Beatbox for Loco. No takers yet, okay? But we will get there. Hottie Sauce will make it happen, all right? Rave reviews. First rave review, it's actually going to be about that Kentucky Derby winner. Sherry DeVoe is the first woman trainer of a Kentucky Derby winner. Golden Tempo. So Sherry, take your place in the history books. I am so happy for you, queen. And she said, I like to identify as a trainer if it just happens to be a female. And I hate that she has to do this thing, that she's like, I am a trainer first and a woman second. And I'm just like, what if we're just a person with the job? You know, that's how it is for people. But if you're breaking records and making history, Just accept that that is a part of it, and that other people can use the way that you paved to potentially have that future for themselves, because no one else has been there before. So suck it up and take it, Sherry. Okay. Trainer first, female second, winner first. Okay. Shout out Golden Tempo. It was a come from behind win, as they say, like most women. Right? Right. Okay. All right. We saw this live at the bar, actually. They were giving away grilled meats and like salads, like barbecue type salads. You know, like a potato salad, a pasta salad. If you purchase one drink, they're like, if you purchase one drink at the bar, you can go get whatever you want from the grill. Queens is built differently, people. Should we move to Queens? No, we're not moving to Queens. Okay, moving on. I got geese tickets. So once again, my hot streak for getting tickets, we are still on. We are so fucking back. I got geese tickets for the October 2nd show at Forest Hills. I thought about getting the ones for Mexico City, but those were like $2,000, so that's a no for me. All right. We'll see if I can pull this off for Casey Musgraves. Coming soon. TBD. All right. New album, by the way. Good. Casey Musgraves' new album. Couple bangers. Gotta listen to them again to see if they really hit. But she always seems to be coming out with music on a schedule that really fits my life. So shout out Casey. Thank you for that. Maybe in another way. I know me and Sabrina Ionescu are going through like a Freaky Friday twinergy of injuries. Maybe Casey is sort of going through a like, maybe we're on connected spiritual paths. Yeah. I'm going to choose to just think whatever the fuck I want because it's my brain and you can't tell me what I can't do. Okay, moving on. Grave reviews. Speaking of tickets and the good luck I've had, here's some bad luck. Has anyone tried to get these LA 2028 Olympics tickets before? I know that Raver Soley is the only person who I've heard be really, really successful, and I think Alina and Merritt too. But I was not successful. They didn't even have the good events I wanted available. Like soccer or basketball or track. I was just looking. I was like, anyone, please. I was like, please. That was supposed to be Demi Lovato, the song Anyone. You probably couldn't tell because I'm not warmed up, but that is true. So I have not gotten Olympics tickets for 2028. Probably never will. So sorry. I know you were expecting me there, but I can't. Maybe I'll use one of my spiritual Freaky Friday sisters to get there, like switch bodies with Sabrina Ionescu, just play in the game for her. But TBD. Also, the World Cup is going to be partly in New Jersey. So that's going to be hilarious and weird. And they're closing off like all of like Penn Station and all of the hot spots in Manhattan. They're like, please don't go here if you don't have to. The World Cup traffic is going to be fucking crazy. So here's the tea. It's going to ruin everyone's lives. We know that. The dates are June 13th through July 19th is when the games will be played at MetLife or in like the New York, New Jersey area. June 13th through July 19th. Okay. And what coincides with those dates? Pride. I am afraid it is going to be so packed, so busy. No one better fuck up our fucking Pride parade. Who I learned someone was the Grand Marshal for Pride recently, but I don't even remember who it is anymore. I'll look that up. Okay. I also thought about this weekend on the way to softball, getting a ride from Rachel. We were listening to some John Mayer. Don't start. Okay, don't. It was old stuff. Okay, not really the new stuff vibes. But what did John Mayer mean when he said Jessica Simpson was sexual napalm? And in my memory, when I was retelling the story in the car, I said it was Jennifer Aniston. I thought he was referencing Jennifer Aniston, and I did until I looked this up again. He was referencing Jessica Simpson in 2006. In an interview, I'm pretty sure it was a Playboy interview, John Mayer said that he decided to go out publicly with his relationship with Jessica Simpson in 06, 07. And he was addicted to her sexually. And he said that she was addicted to her and she was a drug for him. She was like sexual napalm. And I was like, when I hear sexual napalm, I hear killing people, killing the energy. Nothing is left. Nothing can survive. Barren wasteland. That's what I'm getting from that. Maybe it was just a choice of words situation, but apparently Jessica Simpson was really upset by this, and she said she deleted his number after this. I said, good. Go off. Live your life. A 2006 Jessica Simpson, she could have what she wants, all right? And then, did John Mayer date Jennifer Aniston at any point? Where did I pull that from? Unclear, but he should not have said that. You know, he's got this like bad rep in the media, like the like Playboy type rep, being like a womanizer type guy. It was this comment and then like the whole like Taylor Swift, like she's so much younger, he cut her off the record type thing. What were the other errors that he committed? Like I just, maybe they're not coming to mind, or maybe those were the two things, sort of like 2 points make a line, he's just a womanizer type. And the fact that he's like in his 40s and single. Yeah, that'll do it. Okay, that's enough for that. But when he starts scatting in Your Body is a Wonderland, na-da-da, na-da-da, white people love when they do that scatting shit. And he's got me wrapped around his finger, that part of the song. Damn, baby. Don't look at me. Don't come for me, okay? Speaking of, you know what? Let's jump right into I'm Sorry. I'm Sorry, whether you like it or not, you know the words to I'm Yours by Jason Mraz. Okay? And when white people hear him, they're like, this kid's onto something. The people yearn for the ukulele. They really do. When we were listening to John Mayer, I was like, oh, he's doing some scatting. You know who else was? Jason Mraz. Jason Mraz had been ripping off music from black folks for years before Your Body is a Wonderland, okay? He had Geek in the Pink. He was doing way too much. I'm going to be so honest, doing way, way too much. But when he does his little thing, he's like, oh my God, watch out, because I swear to God, I got turned on to the song again. And I used to have this on my do not playlist because I used to work at a bank. I worked at a bank through like high school and college. And I'm Yours by Jason Mraz is like the number one bank music song, light rock, okay? And now it's coming back around. I don't know. It's kind of goated. I fear that there are worse songs, like Happy by Pharrell. Absolutely a do not play. But I just feel like Kobe Calais, Jason Mraz, there's something that's bringing them up for me right now. And maybe it's just because I'm wearing a tank top with a light sweater and the sun is out. Actually, I think that's it. Now that I think about it. Okay, moving on. Can I say something? This is actually really present for me, and this is going to be important. It's just going to be me, obviously, screaming into the void, and I know no one can help me. We got to get our brightest minds on it, though. Just like the braking of the plane, like stopping the plane, we got to get our brightest minds. There's nothing scarier than watching someone tee up a video on a virtual meeting. There is nothing scarier. I had 3 meetings this week completely unwind due to video media in a presentation. It's like there's either like the value's not on, or the screen share is lagging, or it auto plays something following because you like embedded the YouTube link, or the embedded one in the presentation doesn't work, so it opens a new tab and then they can't get back to PowerPoint because it's in share screen mode. I have seen 30-minute meetings get cut off. I have seen us miss full portions of content because we've been trying to get a video. People die on the hill too. They're like, we're not skipping the video. The video is the main portion of it. Why would you make the video the main portion of a virtual presentation if you do not know that the technology is equipped to do that? I just don't think that we are ready as a society for embedding video technology into PowerPoints or for playing video. We went through a global pandemic that took everybody online, and no one thought like maybe we should try to optimize virtual meetings for sharing videos. A global pandemic could not improve the user experience of video on meeting. And honestly, let's get our best and brightest back on it. Okay. And if not, let's get some Deloitte consultants or something. Someone, an engineer, once you're done getting the planes on the ground without those sounds, move right on to playing a video on a virtual meeting, specifically Teams. At least Zoom kind of gives you the options. Like, do you want to share audio? Like, what do you want to do here? Oh my God. I really can't deal with this. And I know it's probably because I work with dinosaurs who like don't know how to open a PDF, but like it's actually starting to really wear down on my soul and my spirit. And why are we even including videos? We're already on a video call. Like, let's just talk about it. Just like have us watch the video in advance or send us the link. We'll all watch it on our own. Why do we have to watch it through the computer itself? I'm done. That's it. This Sunday is Mother's Day. Don't forget, everyone call your moms, get your moms a gift. Make sure they get that in the mail as soon as possible. You have less than a week, okay? One last thing, I'm just saying, I hear it. I felt the premonition and I can feel the spirit. And I'm going to say this right now. It is going to be a Caesar summer. And I can tell. I had a Caesar salad today and I said, I am going to have this every day for the next 4 months. It's going to be a Caesar summer. And it can be in salad form. It could be wrap. It could be a deconstructed situation. I don't care what it is. Just make sure that you're having a Caesar summer. Songs of the week. First, in addition to a Caesar summer, Euro Summer by Zara Larsson featuring Shakira on the new remix Girls Trip album. Absolutely incredible. An example of taking a feature and actually elevating an already amazing song. Okay. Euro Summer featuring Shakira. Uncertain Texas, Casey Musgraves. And Ma Maria by Brooks and Dunn. That song has been my ADHD song for the last couple days because he's just like, Ma Maria. It's, oh my God, a fucking earworm. All right. It's an earworm and you got to trust me on this one. All right. Well, that's it for me. Is literally only 8:32 p.m. here still. 11:30 p.m. at home. I got to blow these hours. I don't know what to do with myself, but that's a Gab problem and not a you problem. All right. I have missed you so much. I cannot wait to talk to you next week about all the crazy things that are happening. Liberty home opener. Liberty. L-I. Liberty home opener on Friday. I can't wait. I have to get my outfit ready. I need to start steaming something. I just get a perm. I need to just start getting ready. I need to get things in order. I'm already behind. I cannot wait for that. It is going to be so much fun. So I will see you next week. This has been Gay Rave, and I am the Gabby L, and the L is for say it with me. Love you. Bye.
That's what she said. And you know what? What was that? Okay, James.